Hey guys, DP here to talk about my reaction to A Quiet Place Day 1, starring Lupita Nyong'o and Joseph Quinn. Before we get started, I just want to say that this series are honestly one of my favorite series in horror. A Quiet Place 1, A Quiet Place 2, and A Quiet Place Day 1. I think that these movies are fantastic, and I'm super pumped for the last movie that's going to come out. It's going to be the final one of the entire series, so I'm pretty excited to see how they conclude this story. So I was pretty surprised when I found out that Lupita was going to be in this, and then when I saw that Joseph Quinn was going to be in it, I already knew that this was going to be a fantastic movie to watch. I think that I give this movie a 9.5 out of 10. Honestly, I love the drama. Everything is quiet the way it should be, and thankfully the audience was also very quiet, unlike my sister, who unfortunately watched it in a very loud environment, unfortunately. But this movie is meant to be watched in IMAX, in big screen, before you actually end up watching it at home. It gives you that really anxious impression of you being in that universe and having to stay quiet, otherwise the characters are going to be in danger. What honestly makes these movies great is just the anxiety, the levels of anxiety that it gives you while watching this movie. As you are watching this, you see that Lupita's character and Joseph Quinn's character have to stay quiet, and they have a cat, which I guess it makes sense that their cat, which apparently is actually a therapy cat of sorts, is trained to stay quiet when it needs to be. But that's the thing that kind of gave me a little bit of an unrealistic approach to it. But at the same time, whatever. I did not want to see the cat die. Nobody wanted to see the cat die. And I think that just the way that it incorporates having that anxiety given to each of the moments that they were about to be spotted by these aliens, I think they did it perfectly. Because usually I'm a person who likes to put myself into this perspective when I'm watching these types of movies to see how I would have reacted to it. And the fact that this movie is set in New York, one of the loudest cities in the world, and they had to try to be quiet, but the thing is they didn't know that they had to be quiet either, which brings that interesting conflict of how am I going to stay quiet in a city that's one of the loudest cities in the entire world. For those of you who don't know, the alien names are actually called Death Angels, which I think is a perfect name for these species. I would love to honestly see them in a different universe as well. I'd like to see a crossover, seeing how other people from different universes would be able to take down these Death Angels, because they are quick. They're not invincible completely, but they are quick, too quick. And also, not to forget the music aspect. I think that the music brings out that amount of anxiety and pressure that this movie definitely needed to have in order for it to bring that suspense that we were thriving on. I think the use of music in sparing places was also genius, as well as keeping it quiet, which thus the name A Quiet Place. I think that everything about this movie was honestly amazing. I think that Joseph Quinn did a fantastic part. Seeing him in Stranger Things being a cocky guy compared to being someone who's actually genuinely scared for his life, and Lupita, who she just wanted a slice of pizza in the apocalypse. I mean, I can't blame her, I guess, but I still think that everything was quite amazing in this movie. I don't want to say too much. I really think that you guys should check it out. I highly recommend this movie. And if you're a fan of the Quiet Place series, I highly recommend watching this one. And I honestly cannot wait to watch the new one that comes out. We have no release date just yet, but it is confirmed that it's going to be the last movie, since the second movie actually ended in a cliffhanger. So we'll see what happens, and I'm super pumped for this movie to come out. Super pumped. But what do you guys think? Do you think that A Quiet Place Day 1 was a really good movie and deserved the praise that it got, or do you think it's overhyped? Personally, I think that this was one of the best movies of the year, obviously outside of Abigail and a few other honorable mentions. I think that this movie is just super fun, and it really just brings the anxiety out of you the right way that it needs to, with suspense and some certain occasional jump scares as well. But what do you guys think? Let me know down below. Also, not to mention, they are actually releasing a Quiet Place game. It's going to be a first-person game where you play as an asthmatic girl. So that's going to be really interesting, and I'm super excited for this game to come out as well. But I hope you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more horror content just like this. And don't forget to de-stress, progress, let your mind rest. Watch this movie. You won't regret it, and I'll see you in the next one, guys. See you later.